Every year, IAAPA brings new announcements and excitement to the amusement park industry from Orlando. This year's return after a one-year hiatus seemed special, and boy did we get some cool news to finally share. So let's do a quick summary into some of the larger announcements from the expo. First things first, easily the biggest news is the full reveal of the Fun Spot Atlanta's new for 2022 RMC Hybrid Air Force One. The full layout, train, and rendering were shown, and if you want more info, I have a whole video dedicated to comparing it to other RMCs and outlining the ride, so go check that out either linked below or in the card above. Starting with an exciting project, the Lost Island theme park is set to open next year in Waterloo, Iowa, and it has announced another new attraction for the park. Volcano is a Sally Dark Ride shooter-style attraction that's set to open with the park. This will serve as an important attraction in the Fire-esque themed section, and it should really round out the other announced rides for the park. Included in the lineup will also be a Vekoma SLC, an Intimate Launch Coaster, and a Wacky Worm. Moving over to Disneyland, it was announced that Mickey's Toontown will be getting a new refresh to the whole area. Now, unfortunately, this area won't be ready till 2023, but it will include the Runaway Railway that is already in place in Florida and has been a big hit for that park. Now, this area certainly needed some work, so it's good to see the park give it a nice update, and as long as it's up to Disney's quality, I'm sure it'll be ready to go with plenty of memories for years to come. Now, moving on to coasters, Zamperla debuted a set of new layouts and attractions. The biggest has to be their new family launch coaster. Now, the layouts seem pretty simple and should be fun for all ages. They even include some backwards launches, which should always be fun. Now, it's exciting to see some companies get into these mid-sized family coasters a bit more, because so many parks can benefit from some new or updated family coasters. Now, included in these announcements was a very large swing-style attraction called the Zeta Swing that can reach heights of nearly 200 feet, so that should be a very interesting model on a small footprint that many parks might have interest in. Next up is S&S, which has recently revealed multiple new standard layouts for their highly anticipated Axis model. While there is one coming in 2023 to Europe, it's unknown which layout or even what park it's coming to. Now, the expo did sport some nice new trains with some slight redesigns as the model really gets geared up to push into the market. Now, I know plenty of enthusiasts, including myself, can't wait for one of these to come to the US. Now, Gerstlauer really tried to steal the show with their own coaster announcement. It was revealed they would bring another Infinity coaster to the US to a small park in Austin, Texas, Codaland. Known for their racetrack, the park is adding a foreign version shuttle coaster that will have a near vertical drop and invert over the road entrance to the park. Named Palindrome, which means a word that says the same thing if spelled backwards, the coaster seems to be extremely unique. The ride will feature a switch track so it can run two trains, as well as an airtime pop built into the top of the spike. That will send the trains through the course backwards. This should serve as a nice road trip spot for enthusiasts who are making their way through the Texas parks, and finally gives Austin a major roller coaster. Finally, we have my personal favorite announcement besides the RMC, and that's a new Chance Rides Gtx, which is coming to Matella Adventure Park in Glendale, Arizona, and it will be a launch coaster and feature 3 inversions. This will only be the second kind of its model, with Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom, which opened in 2014. Now, these smaller but extremely intense and powerful rides are a cost-effective alternative to rides like RMC hybrids, and it's honestly shocking that it took so long to bring a second one to life. Many argue that Lightning Run is at least close to as good as Storm Runner in the same park, so add in inversions and this could be a very special roller coaster. The ride will feature multiple airtime moments, 2 vertical loops, and a corkscrew. The biggest benefit is now that there will be a few more credits to get in the Phoenix area. I highly expect this to be the best coaster in the state when it opens, and should really set this park apart from anything close in the area. So those are most of the major announcements from the 2021 IAAPA Expo. Multiple new coasters and some exciting reveals always helps makes the slowdown of the season feel better. Hopefully this isn't the end of the announcement season and we'll get a few more reveals before next year, but even so, this is a nice slate of new rides. Until next week, that's all from the shores of Island Coasters.